searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop the way, yeah. Birds jumping and I hear my name, grasping into a life. Life is happy but it's so insane. We must merely make a start. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a road. Savannah. Is gonna come. The birds have just begun. We will always take a stand for the people, for the land. Let's go back to when we were young. For the animals we stand. Let's go back to when trees were swung. Kids across the land. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah.
Good morning, grasshoppers. Uh-oh. I realized that my grandson's artwork is up to the right. He is adorable. It's very hard not to spend the day with him instead of streaming. It is awkward, as I have a lot of big plans to do the Olympiad review for all of our listeners and all of our viewers. From a chess informant perspective as well. Uh-oh. That was going to be a rough one. Pardon me. At least I have a relatively quiet sneeze. Could be worse. Usually Tuesday is the slowest day on the planet for streaming. I'm happy to see all of you here. Checking the mic. Good. I'm hoping to do a review of all of our teams. We're definitely going to be following Hong Kong. I am playing. I am registered, but I'm not playing right now. I had to take the first round off as I fixed one last-minute issue. And I also want to check the sound versus... Let's check yesterday's stream for one moment. Make sure we weren't muted in any way. I am policing... very diligently policing our soundtrack to make sure that we don't get muted. I still seem to be streaming only at 30 frames per second. Dedicated the router, a separate second router to the stream. It's possible that I might need to shut down all of the other items. Such as OneDrive. I do have to set up my Backblaze backup. going to eliminate all of the other items. I do miss my old background. So I'm going to have to decide on the background of the day. Edge. We're not going to let Microsoft Edge run in the background. Teams. I'm not sure why Teams is loading in the background. Checking everything. Still nothing. Kingslayer Sloan, Rogan, how are you? Let's give you one more shout out. Thank you for the raid. New Zealand playing Hong Kong today. I do want to do a quick rundown on all the teams I want to cover in their entirety in the Olympiad besides the USA. Obviously, we'll be covering the USA, New Zealand, Hong Kong, Australia. We're going to cover Kyrgyzstan on behalf of Alexandra Semiganova, Israel on behalf of Dina Pelankaya, Malaysia, who else should we cover? What countries should we cover? I believe India will be well covered. And we will also get India. But we should put India. How many teams do they have? 3 teams or 2? In all the confusion, I've lost count. Saul is in business here, about to demonstrate a, and then we have Dragon Emperor. Where are you, sir? Dude. Dude. You cannot register for the event and then not play in it. Who's this? Who did not move first? Well, wait. Or is their game over with? And I'm just not refreshed. Oh man, I hope I didn't do that. Oh, Dragon Emperor is here. Never mind, Dragon Emperor, I apologize. It just looks like you haven't moved for some reason. Ye gats. Scared me there for a moment. The only game going is Glenn. Sorry for the accidental message. I saw that the screen had not been moved. And I wasn't sure if a whole bunch of... No, when I brought up the screen, Darkblade, it looked like 3 boards had not made their first move. But I needed to refresh my screen. It was my fault. My fault entirely. I apologize. I sent you a message saying, dude, in general. So I apologize. Because I thought you hadn't moved. Alright, and we're off. Caspa Negro. It's kind of hoping for a... what in the world is going on? going to just develop our pieces as fast as humanly possible here. Let's see if we can threaten to win a pawn. Well, we did win a pawn. And now for something completely different. I don't mind. So am I losing my queen or am I losing a piece? We'll find out in just a moment. Whoops. I don't mind. Do I want to keep attacking? You gats. There's just too much excitement going on here. We have to pull back this way, unfortunately. All right, moment of truth, everyone. Moment of truth.
Had a feeling we had something. Could have seen it in your eyes. Took a second, but I'm right here, waiting for you with open arms. How about you coming closer?
Well, that was a quick return of the piece.
Maybe we can try. Meeting up at 7, you'll be staying over, so it's guaranteed. I'll be forever thinking about you and me.
Looks like we get to keep up the threat
I don't wanna let you
of attacking.
tell me what you want to know.
But what's the best square to keep up the threat of attacking on? So what? I can't have my queen on a square where I'm going to be my head. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Wow. All right, we're just going to take the material and we're going to run with it. As much as I really wanted to play, and I probably should have played rook to e5 check, but here comes more. All right, this is starting to look like a very, very quick mate. Bishop doesn't have too many squares to move to. And now for something completely ridiculous. The king has to go to what square? All right, this should be mate. But I don't really want him going to the square f5. Is that possible that I can keep him from going to f5? We'll analyze this later. We'll see if we have more. So knight e7 check. Ah, let's put him back in this manner. Okay, now we're making some progress. Empty hearts and neon lights. First things first. Alright, this should lead to mate. Everybody's hanging. Where's he going next? Oh no, I lost on time. Oh, I lost on time. Very enjoyable game, Caspa Negro. Good morning, Eriquito. So once again, Dark Blade, I apologize for the invasion of privacy. It was only to message you. I didn't mean to message you. I basically, if I wanted to message someone, I could hover over their profile, such as this, and just click on that. That way I can say, and that way I can get straight to, see how my screen needs to be refreshed, and now we get to see the real games. Dark Blade in slight bit of trouble, more than I am, interestingly enough. Oh no! Hopefully I didn't distract him. Dragon Emperor, country of choice to follow in the Olympiad. As I attempt to do Rogan's news recaps of the Olympiad, team by team, round by round. Rogan. Rogan just needs to prepare a pawn break, that's all. Yep, there you go. And that's the pawn break. Push the C3 pawn, sir. Basically, before you played that move, I might have pushed C3 to make this pawn firmly vulnerable to avoid any funny business that will lengthen it because of the shortness of our time. I still have not acclimatized to 3-2. Down to 2134 blitz. Minus 70 on the Dow Jones scale. Archipelago. Alright. Well, I feel for all of my remaining opponents as I endeavor to get 4.5 points. This is the most aggressive opening attacking e4 one could ever hope for, think of. Nothing. We're going with knight c6 this time. It is the best move according to Stockfish. I need to also improve my bishop, increase my chances for a minority attack. Reinforce the center. So nothing. Did I just throw away a piece? I did. Just for one day. Be heroes. Let's see if this opening can withstand spotting white a piece. We're going through some changes here as black. Ah. What? Am I taking that way? I don't know. Oh no! I can't afford to trade queens. Egads. I'm losing material hand over fist. This is not good. We're going to need a lot of divine intervention to avoid losing this particular game. Like that, for example. Oh, is this really working? Gosh, this is craziness. Divine intervention, folks. I'm only down a pawn. Let's see what we can get out of this deal. Mm-hmm. Should we fight for the open file and pretend like we can draw this game? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's hope that he's interested in trading. Now we've got a double attack. We've incurred some more weaknesses here. Let's keep up the attack. You have to keep his pawns at bay. Not that this is actually going to work. But we have to try. Where are you headed? Yeah, we'll let this happen. Gegenspiel. Whoa. And now for something completely different. So far, so good. Very lucky, Archie. So sorry, man. Better to be lucky than good, as I was told by Capablanca. That's horrible. I'm so sorry. Do not move fast. This is the one thing about 3-minute chess that I really dislike. Absolutely horridly dislike. Alright. Kingslayer Sloan. Let's just go with the 6e5 variation. This is, after all, the variation that leads to the most industrious problems for black. What in the world is going on, and what does it all mean? All right. Weak squares abound. First things first. Too many pawn moves in the opening as we finish our quest to see what's going on. So what should we attack first? Aha! That is a good move, sir. He swiped my very valuable e5 pawn. Nicely done. I tried to save my b2 pawn. That was not the order of business. Interesting. Because he did have knight takes c3 there, actually. He did have knight takes c3 in that position. Knight takes c3, knight takes c3, queen takes d4, check. So how do we bother him in a manner to which he's accustomed? We're going to have to really boogie. Yes. Where is it going? Let it go. Mm-hmm. Gonna take some serious maneuvering to get my pieces to the right squares. Or maybe it won't. That's not really where I wanted to be. Can I go that direction? No, huh? Darn it. Just struggling to get some form of an advantage here. Rogan had me the whole way. That was the hardest working game. Was it the Bird's opening? No, it was not the Bird's opening. That was a modern defense, Austrian attack, Shri D. Queen sack for 2 pieces in your second game. Nice. Let's not spot our opponents 3 points of material right out of the opening. Sorry, Rogan. Piece coordination, that's all I can say. You had me dead to rights. This game is very unfair when you least expect it. Absolutely, unequivocally unfair. All right. What opening have we not played enough of? The Alakine, obviously. Yeah, I didn't really want to play Bishop G4 until after he had committed his knight to C3, honestly. Well, that was interesting. I'm not sure why you would want to do that to yourself. You're already overprotecting the F3 knight 4 times. 3 times prior to Bishop E4. I'm in love. I'm in love. I'm in love with you. Whoa! This should be hanging upon, right? Should this be hanging upon? The fork trick is not alive? I don't know. But whatever it is, let's just battle forth. Giving up control of e5. Going after all the weak squares that we can. c4 is still a weak square, by the way. For those of you who have not seen a weak square before, c4 looks like it could be that square. The d4 pawn is isolated. I don't necessarily know if I want to play knight takes e3, but it's a thought. And now we do have to get our pieces out with a gain of time. Okay, so now c4 is real. First things first, we're going after e3. c4 is still crying out. Still crying out, c4. Interesting. c4 is still crying out as a weak square, that is. Yeah, I can't tell if it was better to play queen takes e3 and then rook c2. Probably it was. But we are after more weaknesses. Whoops, that wasn't such a good move. Self-pinning. What in the world? Do we capture, capture, capture? We do. We just capture, capture, capture. And we keep on attacking. Where does the knight go? First things first, let's find out where the knight goes. And then we consider improving our pizzas. We get to capture everything with check. This will be a welcome thing. Can I go that direction? We will go in that direction. Fix those weaknesses. All right, a small victory for mankind. Let's see, knight f6 is my third most played move, so I have to answer e4 with e5 from now on, or knight f6, or the French. The French could definitely be used, could use some bolstering. New Pitang. Nicely done, DigiWorld. How is he getting away with this? I'm getting away with it indeed. I'm expecting the London, but obviously we can't always get what we want. Can't play the Austrian attack as black, but this is like a reversed Alekhine gone wrong. Reminds me of, was it Alekhine Reti? You're really going to give away a bishop like that? Natural moves often lead to natural disasters. Let's be careful out there. All right, so he's giving up the bishop pair. Let's force the hand. Oh, he's not giving up the bishop pair. I actually needed to hold on just a little bit. Whoa! Keep all those knights restricted while we're at it. What in the world? Oh my god, I moved to the only square that allowed this? How am I getting away with this, one asks. Yes. Where are you headed from here? There's a B2 weakness, at least. In the near future, it's only a pawn between friends. Only a pawn between friends. Doesn't win as much as we think that it wins. But it does win. So that's all that matters. Five wins in a row, Digiworld. TDW. Oh, I'm very lucky. What was that horrible opening that I played? I lost a pawn. As King Slayer Sloan asked, how is he getting away with this? That was not good. Namaste. Caspanegro? What? Caspanegro, you didn't finish. Oh, you did finish. Good. I thought I couldn't see all those So what is this? This is a very perverse Tory attack without the knight being on d2 and no c4 pawn break. So we'd like to grab the f4 square followed by the e5 square followed by f4. Small threat. I mean, you went all in here, Caspanegro. Knight f6. f5? No, f5. Right? f5 needs to be played. And now, not that move, but queen to e6. You're gaining time, hand over fist. With queen takes e6, you're also threatening bishop to c4, as well as the other mates. Bishop to g6. Alright, we forgot where our pieces were. And now Casponegro is playing the Scandinavian. Okay, so now materials equal. White has a better pawn structure. White has better development and control of the file. White has the d5 square. What does black have? Maybe black should have gone for the exchange of the dark squared bishops. Maybe black should have gone for the outposted knight to get to a better square. This move doesn't make sense to me. After all, we're still not moving there because of the weakness of the dark squares. I.e., just what we were talking about from Peru. You win the tourney. Nicely done. Samsajuani. Samsajuani. Is that you, DigiWorld? So, Mortner Crazy is from Denmark, by the way. I'm going to add Denmark to the list. Countries to cover in YouTube updates. Congratulations to everyone. Namaste, by the way. Namaste. So what do we have here? You know who we haven't rated in a long time? To be honest, we have not rated a very good friend who is covering the Olympiad. But we're also going to cover Hong Kong, board number, Yeatenheimers, Uzbekistan. I just want to see what the story is here in the standings. First, we'll go to the official website. Olympiad quick review. Live women. France versus India. Ladies first, by the way. And Georgia. Okay, so that seems to be where we're about to head. 2 secs. Thank you so much. I am going to come back, Yeatenheimer, with so we're definitely doing Hong Kong, New Zealand, Australia, USA, almost in that order. Kyrgyzstan, Israel. We'll do Georgia for our friend Katy. Do we have any Ukrainians in the house? We should do Ukraine. I'm doing these and I'm ranking these in order. All right. 169 to 296. I do have to find them the old-fashioned way. This is the men, right? Yes. If I click on any game, Daniel Gong versus Luke. We're not going to do the evaluation just yet. So first off, John Stark. John Stark is playing for, I actually can't tell by looking at the names. Estonia. Thank you, Nico. I'm glad you requested Estonia. John Stark is New Zealand. He went to New Zealand after the New York Knicks. Westeros. Hey, they refurbished Game of Thrones. They really souped up the color and quality on Netflix. It's a refurbished, high-definition Game of Thrones that has now been re-released on HBO Max. By the way, on Hulu, I was watching Whitechapel, which is quite a good series. The Girl on the Lake, I think, is an Australian, New Zealand detective mystery. 2 seasons. Whitechapel on Hulu is very dark. I've become a very big fan of... When we go over our match, absolutely. Let's just, one thing at a time. We just started this one. Hong Kong was requested by... So there's a direct threat. Hong Kong, New Zealand is the match of the moment. I don't like the dark squares on this side of the board, honestly. All right. Yeah. Ben Court and Catherine Ip, I believe, are the writers for Whitechapel. And I was very happy because I like historical fiction like National Treasure, The Da Vinci Code, and Whitechapel is very much murder mysteries with a historical bent being woven in. But Whitechapel is very dark, and it is not for the squeamish, and it is not for children. That's for sure. Because obviously it starts off with a Jack the Ripper corollary. So what is going on? Let's see where this came from while I'm at it. There's a Morozevich 5 Bishop D3 Petrov. I've never been certain about this particular line. I mean, obviously white enjoys a small spatial advantage, but is the bishop better placed on c2 because of queen b3 threats? And then black weakened his kingside voluntarily here, rather than considering the other alternative. And he can't fight for this square in any way, so white has to be better at this point. So both sides are striving for this knight. Yeah, white has to be better here, but how much? That's a question. Not by much. So New Zealand is white on boards 1 and 3. It looks like white is a little bit better there. Going to board 2 between Nick Crawd. Nick Crawd, New Zealand is black. They are the favorites in the match by rating, obviously, it looks like. Angels and Demons, yes. Angels and Demons, you have to watch that one before you watch the Da Vinci Code. But reading the books, you should definitely read the books. The books on the Angels and Demons first, and then the Da Vinci Code. Unfortunately, I read the Da Vinci Code first, so I knew that nothing could happen to the hero in Angels and Demons, which kind of ruined some of the suspense. Because prior to the Da Vinci Code, I can't remember the professor's name, but obviously if his life is threatened, there's nothing to be feared.
history, but we don't have to repeat it.
White is so much better here. Nick, what's going on in this opening? So this was a Nimzo Indian gone wrong. Not my favorite line, the same as variation. Usually I prefer f3 first, find out what black is going to do with his white squared pawns, and then play. So in this instance, black should instantly be going for d6, knight on b to d7, e5, queen e7, in my mind. So we did turn it into a Georgiou variation. This is the Georgiou variation with f3 against the Nimzo Indian because of a win by Georgiou over Fischer in the 1960 Olympiad, maybe? I believe it was the 1960 Olympiad. Let me take a quick peek. It was in the Chess Informant volume, Old Wine and New Bottles. The little story. Of course, now they call it something else. Which, of course, the answer is wrong. So, black is going for the traditional pressure on c4 and somehow relinquishes it. So what's stopping us from playing a move like d5? There we go. I think white is better because of the development in space. No. Okay, I'm 1 for 1 right now. Maybe d5 was a bad move. So it's perfectly fine here. But I do feel like c takes d4 was ill-timed. d6, queen to c7, and castle's kingside. Yeah, white is definitely better here. What happened? Queen e7? We couldn't just, like, castle or play d6, yeah? Both of those moves are good because if white plays e5 after castling, then black can break against the center later with d6. Or even d5, as it doesn't want to be captured en passant. The knight on e8 will return. Instead, we reach this position with the knight on g8, and white is better. Don't you love how that happens? Like 0.7 for white, and then white makes a move like c5, and it's all gone. Unfortunately, I'm afraid that New Zealand may be better on board 2 as well as on board 1. Not necessarily unfortunate for everybody. Oh, and white is down a piece for 3 pawns on board 3? Yes. And the queen is for the most part checkmated. Queen h3 is the only move to keep the pieces on the board, but this does not bode well. It doesn't look good. What opening was that? French defense. McCutcheon variation, I approve. Bishop d2, although the latest rage in theory is actually to try to play bishop e3. This one is held to be more favorable for white than bishop to d2. Bishop to d2 is the old main line. For those of you who haven't studied openings in a while, rest assured, it is still the main line. So now, I'm tempted to go into the endgame. Usually white plays h4 or bishop d3 to me. But okay, queen to g4, g6. Black is still threatening to go into the endgame with knight takes d2. So again, we have a choice between... Oh wow, I never even considered the computer move of bishop c1. Wow. This is worse than I thought. Bishop d3 is normal. However, I would still go for knight takes d2 and queen to g5 check. I like this endgame. Because Stockfish doesn't. I used to play that endgame all the time. This goes to show you that I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, I see, and we lost our piece because of the badly placed knight. Any move other than knight e2, and we're not losing. Oh, do we have an equality here? This is a standard line, huh? I don't know. Looks like it's just equal.
Check.
Knight f4. When we had to trade queens? Wow. Okay, maybe not. Maybe everything's good. We're kind of A to B1. Yeah, we need to activate our rooks. This is board 4. Yeah, this is board 4. Board 3. Oh, you're right. I accidentally skipped over. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, this is board 4. Board 4 is down a piece, and that doesn't look good. You're right. So New Zealand is up on board 4, a piece. But I don't really see the compensation for it anymore. He missed out on an opportunity here to increase his potential with rook on A to B1. Stockfish likes F3, but rook on A to G1. I even like rook to H3 if we had to choose a move to activate the rook. We got to get these pawns moving while the pieces are undeveloped. It doesn't look good in board 3. Finally, a game where Hong Kong is better on board 3. Leave it to the Grunfeld. Wow, what a move. I think white out-theoried black here. Queen takes d2 is the most logical. But it's hard to sack a pawn and trade queens, right? The pressure on a2 is too great. Yet, bishop e6. Pressure left and right. Black is no longer down a pawn and has the slightly better piece coordination and the safer king. Oh yeah? Nicely done. I'm going to take your word for it. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, just wanted to see the standings for a moment. Oh, not these standings, silly. So among the women first, Azerbaijan, Poland, Ukraine, Mongolia, number 9 after a 3-1 victory against the US. Nicely done. Kazakhstan. I thought I would know one of these players other than Corey Desi. Oh, there she is. There's the new riser, Bibisara from Kazakhstan. Bulgaria? Irina Bulmaka? Is she from Bulgaria? No? Oh, she's from Romania. Bulmaka's from Romania. Yes, she's the strongest player, and she's international master. I'm going to add Romania to my list because they were one of the earliest to support me. And KGZ was the other initial. Is that it? You can skip around this way by clicking on very nice website. The Alexandra Semikonova. Did she really win against Irina Bulmaka in the first round? Wait a minute now. They didn't play each other. She drew with Elizabeth Potts, another streamer. Ashlinskaya. There we go. So Alexandra Semikonova drew against Romania in that one. So this is the Kyrgyzstan match, right? And Irina Bulmaka lost this particular game, yeah? That's a tough start to the Olympiad. I wonder if Szabo is related to any of the other Szabos. Well, let's see. Anyone else that we need to watch out for at the Cramlings? What do we think? We definitely should do Sweden, right? I want to do both Cramlings, obviously. That didn't sound right. How are the women doing? The hard part is that I want to do all these recaps and updates in 30 minutes or less, if that's at all possible. Wow, we lost our raid. We lost our raid chance while I napped. At least she picked up a win, and she's playing her fourth game now, so maybe she's just a little slow on the draw. I have high hopes for Carissa, yeah, I really do. Tatava Brahman is 3-1. Anna Zatomsky, that draw with Heather Richards did not help. But they won the match, right? Rissy up lost. Raw. Oh, so the U.S. Tateva Brahman got it. They squeaked by. All right. For lack of a better word, Let's let everyone know about Anna Kuchava. We'll go with the other Georgian. How about that? We're headed over to Anna Kuchava, who's covering the Belankaya stream. Thanks to everyone. Oh, Rogan wanted to do our game real quick. Let's see if I can do that in 30 seconds or less. Ready? I mean, Rogan should have beat the daylights out of me. He really should have just beaten the daylights out of me. I was so lucky in this game. Now, obviously, the e5 line is only as good as it looks. F takes e5, and it's dead equal. Knight takes e5. Maybe I should just give up on this line with e5 and go with the bishop e3 line. After all, that is what Judith Polgar plays. It is pleasant. So now, all of these dark squares are so weak. c4 was my first inclination. That's what I should have gone with. Bishop takes f3. Queen takes f3. Queen takes d4 check. King h1, and then I'm better. Yeah. And now I'm losing. Wow, b4 was just such a horrendous move. Any move other than that, King h1, for example. So now I'm getting my head handed to me, and f6 was a weakening move. The move I was expecting, as I announced during the stream, was knight takes c3. And the problem is that queen takes d4 check forces the trade of queens and wins the knight, and you scarf all of my pawns, and I'm just dead lost. You're not even down a piece. Not only, I mean, it's just horrible. Hoping for counterplay with getting a rook to the 7th rank, but yeah. Had you found knight to c3, that was the killer blow. More puzzle streak.